So I really want to just kick this off by saying it's a confusing time for clients. A couple of years ago, social was not even on the horizon. Suddenly, clients woke up and said, oh my God, I need social. I just want to ask, what is the advice that you give marketers when you come across them, when they say, look, what do I do with social? So broadly, what's your advice to marketers on how should social, be thought of in their marketing program? Should it be separate? Should it be together? Should it be done by, what's your experience? We'll really start with you, Anurag.
First of all, it's a great panel, and I'm not saying because I'm there. The only thing, we could have had a marketer on the panel, because really, in the ecosystem that we operate, which is an advertising-led economy, the ecosystem of our industry, there's no marketer on the panel. So next time, we should have a marketer on every panel, because really, we all work for him or her. So coming to social media and its role in the media mix, if you look at the digital spends, today the digital spends, as per the Pitch Madison Advertising Outlook, are close to 5%. So if we take 27,000 crores, we are talking of, depending upon what number you believe, between 1,300 crores to 1,700 crores. That's the kind of spend. Pitch Madison says it's 1560 crores. So it's only 5%. And if you compare it with UK, where the digital spends are about 35%. So the single largest medium in UK is digital. If you take US, it's about 20%. So really, we are at 5%. And I was asking Mahesh before starting the panel, how much do you think is digital out of this 5%?
Social out of 5%.
Social out of it. And Mahesh's guess was it's probably 10%. So really, social media has a long way to go. The only three things I'd like to say is that social is growing. These days, I meet more social media agencies and my CMO friends calling me and asking me for recommendations for specialist social media agencies. So I think more and more marketers, because they've experienced their son, daughter on Facebook, they're probably on Facebook trying to follow their son and daughter, met old friends. They've realized the power of this medium. So they are looking at specialist advice. Second, we've had this conversation about paid media, which is advertising and earned media. And let me give you an example from the point of PR versus advertising. The fact is, when advertising grew, PR or PR agencies or PR professionals or PR spends or PR outlays also grew. So what will happen is the earned media, which is broadly social media, will grow. And somewhere it will merge. Third thing, in India, if this 10% out of the 5% has to grow to say 40, 50% of a 10% spend, overall 10% spend, it will happen if social media in regional languages, in Indian languages, become stronger. So my point of view is, over the next 2 years, this 5% out of the 100% in terms of digital spend will go up to 10%, 12%, and out of this 10, 12%, at least 3 to 4% would be social media.
Great, Anurag. So that's a nice top-down view. Tushar, what's your advice to clients? How should social be or not be part of the plan? How should it be thought of or not thought of?
Yeah, so there are two ways to look at it. One is what social media can do the campaign, and second way, where the social media can give a sort of legs to existing campaigns. So, for example, many of the brand, social is becoming core in terms of activation platform. So though the advertising can happen on a TV, print, or any other medium, or even display within the digital environment, social is the core to entire idea or engagement to consumer. When the second, in terms of tactics, you talk about, I think again, I go by Anurag's classification of, if you look at the paid on kind of environment. Then paid, you go by sort of tactics, and typically medium like Facebook are pretty prominent within the digital environment. And covers almost 70–80% of internet population, so that becomes pretty important in a digital media mix.
Very. What would you advise clients to sit back and say, how do I use this Google+? How do I use YouTube? I mean, how does social play a role? You guys do search, you do display, you do social. How do you do video, mobile? What's the role?
Yeah, so look, our understanding is that just like you have television, print, radio in offline, and each of these media serve a different marketing goal, I think all activities on digital as well serve a different marketing goal. So search serves one goal and social serves another goal, and video serves another goal, and display serves another goal. So I think depending on what you really want to do, and you invest in these platforms. I think this changes by category, right? This changes by the industry you operate in. So if you're operating in an industry where customer acquisition is key, then you tend to focus on some platforms. And if you belong to an industry where customer engagement for you is really, really key, then I think you tend to invest more in some of these platforms. So I think, to begin with, I sort of agree with Anurag that there's a muted debate. I think we are right now in an environment where digital is actually just skimming the surface. But even within that, if you have to sort of classify on how should clients go about using this, I think it's very clear. It's early days yet. People are still trying to figure out the model, the best operating media mix model for them within digital as to what works where. But I think there are reasonably good early signs on what platforms work for what. And I think over a period of time, we will see this process crystallizing and clients being reasonably sure about where to invest their dollars for what goals.
Arnab, what are the 2 or 3 things you advise your clients when they ask you about social?
Just to add to what these guys have been saying, I think what we need to do at this point, I think we are far advanced than just thinking that whether social or not. I think we now need to discuss that what in social. I think we're in that stage. I mean, think about Facebook. It's got about 46 million people, whether the largest English daily of the country reaches to only 19 million people. So with 46 million, if you're still deciding what should be the model, I think we are really not making any sense out here. So if I go by that liberty, then I think the way we look at it is we say that within social media there are multiple things that multiple objectives that you could attend to social media. So probably there's a part of social media, say a vehicle like Twitter would probably gives you the power of broadcasting than anybody else. So why not look at Twitter and think that, okay, this is my broadcasting metric on social media itself. Similarly, if you talk about say for the matter a blog possibly become, you can compare it with something which you're already aware of, or for the matter Facebook. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to build a correlation between all the social vehicles within the social media space, and thus helping people to create a broader strategy for social media than just going and telling them that whether social needs to be there or not. Because I think it's now kind of mandatory with the kind of volume we are seeing.
So, talking about volumes, I'll just maybe add a couple of cents on one key topic that might put this thing in perspective. So we talked about 46 million Facebook users. Google has gone on record to say that it has over 105 million monthlies. Twitter says about 14, 15 million. Google Plus says about 13, 14 million in India. YouTube says 31 million uniques. So essentially, when you look at that, and you look at that in perspective, let's say the IPL is starting in a few days, right? A typical IPL match on an average last year rated 2.5 or 2.7. 110 million, 120 million television households, right? Whichever way you look at, 2.7 is at the most 3 million households. Now, nobody believes that 4 people watch a match are in a household watching TV. You put a regular factor of 2, whatever. So you know that if you buy like Star Plus today or whatever, you're buying a match at some 40 crores a match or 50 crores a match, and you're paying 10 lakhs for a 10-second spot, you're reaching at most 6 million people. And out of those 6 million people, maybe 2 million are SECAB. Maybe 2 million are youth. There's mummy, daddy, or whatever it is, right? You put that in perspective against Facebook alone, which gives you 8 million SECAB every day, out of which 3 million are youth SECAB every day, right? Suddenly you see that, the numbers are out there saying that today in most measurable media, I mean, you do a largish engagement on Facebook, you get twice the viewership of what a Star Plus will give you on its biggest serials. Even if it is about, Ram making love to Sakshi, you'd still get significantly more rankings than seeing 2 elephants mate, apparently, right? So, given that, I just wanted to ask, how do you want clients to look at what role does social and digital play versus traditional media? Not just within digital itself, but the numbers are huge. Till last year, we were apologizing for digital, saying digital is a niche. Now we know no longer. The numbers are so enormous, it left TV far behind. Times of India's national circulation is 7 million. We have 140 million net users. We have 20 times as many net users as there are subscribers to Times of India already. So my set of questions is, how should the client now, I mean, given the fact that 95% of their spend goes where, which are in niche media, in this mass media suddenly has 5% of spends. How are you looking at clients, and what should clients look at, not look at? What are they doing right? What are they not doing right? How should they rethink? Should they not rethink at all? This is the right way?
See, I'll say something, and Perry will bear me out because he's worked on the agency side, and now he's on the media owner side and on the digital domain. For those of you who haven't read Perry's profile, Perry used to be head of medicine in Delhi and used to be the head of the Airtel account, which probably in Delhi was the largest account. And building on what Mahesh said, if you just look at Airtel, it is 185 million subscribers. Now you put all the newspapers together, all the major ones, it doesn't add up to 185. Again, we can agree or disagree about the quality of engagement on mobile, the kind of SEC, but the point I'm trying to make is that 185 is a big number. And probably I don't have to tell you that all of us are screenagers. We're constantly looking at a screen, whether it's an iPad or a phone or whatever it is. And I genuinely believe that social media spends will grow, and why they will grow, and I'll come back to the Perry point. I call it the Perry point, I just coined it, and you'll read more about it.
Be famous tomorrow.
Yeah.
Headline Times of India.
Yeah. Maybe headline in Google, You know Google has more readership, you just said. So point is, more and more media agency executives, for those of you who are, is there anyone who doesn't know who's a media planner buyer? Because there are enough people in my company who don't know it. So media planners, buyers, they're very special people. Perry used to be one at one point. And really
About 765 left in the country, lesser than Tigers.
Yes. Their number is as much as the gods in the country.
And there are no digital planners, only digital buyers.
Yeah.
Digital planning kaun karta hai? I mean, typically he'll call up and say, "Yare, Yahoo, ek 5 lakh ka plan dena." That's called the plan.
So while we might be joking, this is exactly how it happens. It's changing, and the point I was trying to make in media agencies are too used to buying television and print, and the fee structures and the remuneration structure are such that it pays to buy more television and more print.
Actually, that's absolutely right. Not just straight up, but even in terms of the kickbacks, like,
Yeah, it's called the overriding commission. So
for,
this is
he
serious,
won't confirm it,
and
but
I
I
have
will
no
tell
problem
you,
in sharing
for every rupee he makes straight from the client, he makes 6 rupees on the back end.
5, 4,
Yeah,
6.
right.
But it's changing. WPP has globally passed a norm because most clients have said that the clients want to know any revenue on that account. And WPP agencies in India have been told that, yes, we cannot do that, but can you come up with more innovative ways to make for this loss? But the larger point I'm making, the remuneration structures of agencies is such, unless until the value of social media in terms of transaction value goes up, the current structure of media agency remuneration will not encourage that.
So essentially, you're saying Google and Facebook have to start giving kickbacks also. Will you, Perry?
I think, look, everybody everybody in digital shares the sense of frustration of, 5% overall digital, 5% of overall advertising pie coming to digital. We look at it, from a different perspective. Sure, there is some sense of frustration that you're only at 5%, where the consumer is probably already at 20% consuming time. But I think we're only going north, right? I mean, I was on a similar panel a few weeks ago, run by Anurag. Digital is growing at 50% in the country. Rest of the media are actually clearly not growing at that pace. So, because you're at 5%, there are more and more users, and I don't need to tell this audience that clearly users will, start consuming content, a type of content long before advertisers follow. So there is always a bit of a lag, and I think that lag will catch up. It can be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It happened with digital. It'll happen with social. It happened with search. So that's the way things are, and I'm fairly hopeful that very soon and very quickly, given the pace at which we are growing, it'll be a substantial share of the overall advertising pie.
So let me take that. I mean, Perry believes it's growing. We have 2 guys from media agencies out here. You guys are not going to get paid. Essentially, what he's saying is kickback nahi denge. So what's going to happen? I mean, you get you make 5, 6, 7% out there on television. Here you make nothing, right? at least from Google and at least from Facebook, you make nothing. I mean, the other guys, you can storm on all the small sites and you give me 30-40% commission. And essentially, you guys, will go where the commission is. So how will digital ever become big until you start earning? How will you start earning to start buying digital?
Sure. We are slightly digressing, but still I'll reply on that. First of all,
I don't think it's digression. I think it's a fundamental problem why spends are not there in digital. If your money
The
was
agencies don't get paid, they don't sell.
that's right.
No, so what typically happens is client many time contract you by scope of work, so not necessarily you are contracted for entire spend. So client also have compartmentalization to contract agencies by specific activities. So not necessarily agency starts skewing up spends based on the remuneration. Though in many cases the differential remuneration exists, and typically in my
There is upfront remuneration, that 1% commission plus some retainer. I'm talking about the under the table, the 5, 6, 7% that you get as kickbacks or overriding commissions or whatever. We don't have that in digital, and that is hundreds of crores for each media buying agency, right? Without that, I mean, salaries won't get paid in this business. So how will digital grow when the distributors of digital, the agencies, are not going to get compensated to make it grow?
So I'm not that, I'm butting in here, but I think like Tushar said, this is, not the topic. But clearly, I think a lot of clients, if I understand the business as much as Tushar you do, clearly this is your call. But clearly, I think clients see value in digital being a part of their media mix, and I think the extraction that agencies are able to get from their clients is probably rivaling that of offline, maybe even higher than offline. So I'm not.
Can I just add to this, Mahesh? Can I just add to this? I think I will just look at it completely differently. I don't think there is any frustration in us. Honestly, for a simple reason, because today you go and meet a CEO of a company, the first thing he asks, hey dude, what's happening on Facebook? You would never ask him to see, hey dude, what's happening on Setmax? So I have no frustration. I've spent about 11 years in this business and seen the internet growing from nothing. Mahesh, you and me, we have sold long back. You have been one of the biggest spokesperson of the country. So I think there is no frustration. First point. Point number two, what I'm going to talk, if I talk about the growth of digital, I think it will come from a fact I don't believe that agencies are not pushing it. I think if I look at Starcom or for that matter Group M, I think we're investing huge amount of time and money to building up an infrastructure which will not only infrastructure, also people to kind of go and sell digital. I think it's not being sold because people did not know how to sell it. In the country, there have been only a handful number of people who only spoke about digital. They said, you know what, sit in front of television, you can sit in front of television, and then you don't know whether the owner of the house or the dog is watching it, but dogs can't click, so please give us digital. That's not the way to sell digital. I think we are now far ahead than that, and we are talking about things that is making sense for the brands. And now people would see a lot of volume. We were never really confident before this, going and saying, you know what, these are the so many number of people, this is the proof data. We say in God we trust, everybody else bring data. Now we have data and going and talking to them. So I think it is happening. There's no frustration. Give us 1 more year. We will only talk about digital and nothing else.
Okay. There's no frustration.
Look at any sort of even digital agency growth also mirrors in a way the media growth. So the way digital is growing highest within the media mix, similarly in agency business also digital is growing highest.
So we talked about how digital goes from 5% to 20%. I mean, let's quickly take a set of predictions. At what point will, let's say, HLL's or P&G's budget, 20% of it will go to digital? What's your guess, Anurag? Which year?
From current to 20%.
Yeah, from current. So current
Digital,
I will assume
not
is
social.
1%, 2%. Sorry?
Not social, digital.
Digital, all of digital. Because I'll take Perry's.
5 years from now, and really, I will qualify that, because what we call as TV or what we call as newspapers, that terminology won't matter, because really we'll be media agnostic, and you'll read the same brand. I mean, Exchange for Media could be tomorrow a 24-hour video channel about advertising marketing. So, whether it's a TV channel or a website. So really, I'll paraphrase saying 5 years from now,
20%.
20%.
Tushar, when will HLL, P&G reach 20% of their spends would go to digital? I mean, assuming that what Perry said is today already 20% of consumer time spent is digital in India.
For CPG category, it might take slightly longer, but there are many clients who spend actually more than 25% even today.
But those are niche, those are FM, those are
levers
financial.
specifically.
So
levers
and P&G, FMCG clients.
Yeah, so top end of FMCG will take 3 to 5 years time.
Perry, what's your guess?
Look, this is like crystal ball gazing. I'd say that there tons of stuff needs to be done before we get there. So first is, I think we have 100 million, 140 million, whatever number you take, internet users. The challenge is now, how do we make this 200, 400 million? TV already has 500 million people, right? So how do we make sure that we get the next jump? We need to develop content in the language people understand. There isn't enough content in non-English language on the internet, on mobile, right? How do we drive penetration of devices? How do we make sure that there are greater and greater smartphones from which people can access the internet, etc.? So I think, look, just to call out how many years it will take for somebody to reach there, I mean, there are like a million links between where we are and where we need to get there. And I think the idea is to identify what those links are, and then people in the industry, corporations, organizations actually work towards developing plans and executing on those. So I think that it's going to take a little while, and like these guys are probably better experts on when they're going to reach, when Unilever or P&G is going to reach there, but clearly there is a bit of a time. But like Tushar said, it's not just about one category called CPG. I mean, there are like lots of categories. Travel already is probably north of 50% digital. Technology already spends a significant amount on digital. Auto already has a sizable share on digital. So there are, and this will always be there. Different categories, different industries allocate and assign different percentages to online depending on what their marketing goals are. And CPG in this respect is probably going to take a little while to reach these numbers.
What is CPG to TV is not necessarily the same category will be driver for the digital. So there can be different categories.
No, I was just saying, assuming nothing grows, we are still at this 20% or whatever it is. So what I will do is, ask maybe one more question, then ask for lots of questions from the audience. Within, and this is I'll maybe start with you, Arnab. If a client has been persuaded to invest 100 in digital, how would you break that up how would you recommend you break that up between how much you spend on the site, how much you spend on SEO, how much you spend on paid search, how much you spend on social, how much you spend on display, how much you spend on videos? I mean, how would you break this 100 of digital? How would you recommend?
I think there are really a couple of factors to look into it. First factor would be what are the objective of various vehicles that's going to use. So I'm sure if, say, because we're talking about CPG, say, for the matter.
Let's take CPG. I mean, it's...
yeah, that's the volume that we have. So for such kind of a client, we would primarily, look at their objectives on Facebook versus, on Twitter. I would probably break down social as well on various KPIs. I would also look at search marketing and paid on paid search and organic search. And we'd probably come up with a central objective of saying, okay, suppose everybody would like to say, okay, we want to dominate digital, okay, we want to dominate internet. Or there could be a various KPI. They might say, okay, I want to have 18% or X percentage of SOV in the total business. So it will be a factor of that primarily. Second thing I think also would be we have to segregate their target audiences based on various target audiences on various forums, whether they're finding their core audience, whether they're not finding their core audience. And that would be a second factor which will kind of drive that. And third thing I think also would be there in terms of their communication strategy. What is their communication strategy on that particular vehicle? So some of the brands, CPG brands, might not even have communications to be promoted on a Twitter. So possibly that would definitely bring the investment on Twitter going down.
So let me ask a publisher. I'll ask Perry your view. And let's take, to make it simple, let's take any random CPG brand. Take a brand of soap or a brand of toothpaste, right? The brand just needs to be supported, no new launches, etc. The client says, okay, look, I have been persuaded to spend X on digital, right? What kind of guidance would you give the client in terms of, okay, look, what part of X should be looking, should they be looking at in terms of search? What part of X should they look at for social or videos? What part of X do you think is right for display? Any kind of guidelines you try to arrive at?
No, so I think the point that I made earlier, I think it all depends on the goals, right? If the guy has video assets, for example, he's got great video assets, then a disproportionate amount can go to something like a YouTube or video networks or whatever. If the goals are more about customer acquisition, and we see that there is a lot of very strong query volume on that that category, then clearly a disproportionate amount is spent on search.
Perry, let me introduce. I'm trying not to make it variable. I'm saying a brand that just needs regular maintenance.
No, we don't have guidance like that.
Okay, there's no guidance at all. Tushar, what would you offer? A brand would come to you, let's say toothpaste brand. already well-known brand, whatever, brand X, and says, no big launches, whatever, but I think I'm going to put X on digital. How should I spend that X?
Yeah, so again, with the sort of already comment, there is many more detail goes into plan, but we look from the two perspective. One is from efficiency and second is engagement. So when we look at efficiency, we look at the cross-media efficiency and which medium can give what kind of rates and hence what you are getting value in terms of interaction with those 30-second also. But for a moment, if you discount the interaction part, the value of impressions seen in TV, mobile or PC is the same, and hence giving a same base level value, what kind of allocation can happen. From TG to TG, the number can vary from 3% to 15%.
What does 3% mean? What does 15% mean?
3% related to TV spend.
Okay.
So this is at a very base level. So it's like a bucket kind of strategy, then you start building up. So if this brand has a higher value in terms of engagement, the allocation on digital can go higher.
So any other guidance you would give a client in terms of how they should think about setting aside their budgets and spends?
Can I just add to what Tushar said? I think what we plan to do is, I think I'm just taking television as a medium because I think that's where like 95% of our spends go today. So if that's the case, then
it's not 95%,
90%,
but
80%,
50%.
50%.
It's 48%.
Yeah, of course, yeah, the offline.
Coming
ones,
down
yeah,
every
correct.
year.
Right. So 50% of the traditional spend goes there, or total spend. So in a situation like that, what happens is that when a planner is taking a television plan, typically the way it approaches is first, say 80% is definitely there's a strategy and plan. About 20-25% of the same is actually a gut call that the planner takes. Like for example, I mean, I'm going to take a channel's name, but for example, say XYZ channel, which I believe that, okay, I have been watching it, but it's something, I don't have any proof to say that, this channel would actually working for me. So what we want to do is we are kind of fusing, levels of data for offline, I mean, traditional media, which is primarily GRPs. And we're looking at, same RLDs for online as well, fusing both data to come up with strategy or further matter, an incremental plan to give them an incremental reach by kind of investing that 20% extra, which otherwise would have gone behind a gut call.
Okay, I think that's interesting. I'll probably
So
add.
for example, digital video already competes with the niche TV in most of the target audience.
In fact, what we're seeing is with two of our larger clients, they've actually cancelled significant TV spends and said, how many views can you get me on YouTube or on a video platform? In one case, we managed to get about 5-6 million video views in 3 weeks' time. In another case, it took 4 weeks to get 2.5 million video views. And they looked at the efficiency, and they figured it was about 8 times more efficient than the cost of buying the same for the same target audience on television. Essentially, there's a big difference, right? You talk about a cost per thousand of 25,000, 30,000 on mass channels, and you talk about a cost per thousand of, 200, 300 on digital. So there's
So for example, digital is not digital, right? It's a various tactics. If you look at SEO, it's one of the most hard-working money for any brand.
Right.
So it's a culmination of various things you do.
So in fact, one of the things I wanted to add is maybe as different from the regular traditional business where typically clients will say, look, of all my money is about 8-10% will go in production and 90% will go in media. On the digital front, we say it's going to be about 50%, 50%. 50% or less will go in media, 50% or so will go in paying for things that will get you earned media. So it's a much, for an agency, it's a much larger fee because it's not 10-90, it's about 50-50. And a lot of the 50 that goes towards the agencies towards getting earned media and towards creating all these videos that get viral views. So you spend $1 lakh or 2 lakhs doing a viral video and it gets 1 million views, and you've actually created the same value as running a commercial for 3 days of 3 IPL matches or so on and so forth in terms of the kind of viewership you get.